father gives me his cable signing so we can get the NASA app to work when it works. And we got everything else. But, you know, she's been used to it being Paramount Plus for the Ravens game so far this season. So when I was explaining this morning that it's a different app, she was quite panicked about it. Really? That's weird. In between games, I was watching a little bit of the Washington-Oregon game. That was wild, right? Okay. Yep. You got it. From Tierney Field here at the USA Lacrosse headquarters in Sparks, Maryland, day 3 of the USA Lacrosse Fall Classic. Glenn Clark now joined by Brian Logue from USA Lacrosse, who's going to be with you for the rest of the day on day 3. And Brian, coming up next, U18 level, Team USA, Team Ontario, shapes up to probably be our best game of the day.
Yeah, this has been a great rivalry over the years. Yesterday was a one-goal game that the USA team won 9-8, but historic competition here and competitive with these teams.
Brian, you more than anybody could probably explain exactly what the Brogden Cup means to everybody involved today. It's a very special event that these youth players participate in.
Yeah, it's a long-time award that originally started at the club level with the men's post-collegiate club level between the U.S. and Canada, and then it's been kind of restored here in recent years at the youth level here with this national team development program for the USA, and having teams from Ontario and the Haudenosaunee Nation come join us, and so what was a long, historic, older men's competition has gone to this level. It's really it's fun to see these kids compete.
It has produced some great games, some high-quality matchups. As you mentioned, what a thriller this one was. 9-8, Team USA eking out the win. And I guess we should maybe expect it to be a one-goal game. Since the last 5 in this series have all been determined by one-goal games, why don't we just go ahead and skip to late in the second half and figure out who's going to score the last goal?
Yeah, Ontario came on top last year in the final game of the event, and the USA won the first one here this year, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, wild finish coming our way, I would assume.
Not only was the finish wild yesterday, but everything about yesterday's game was wild. Ontario had a big lead, and then the USA rallied back. And Ontario had a 6-4 lead again in the second half. And then the USA scored 5 straight, and then Ontario still wasn't done yet. Scored a couple of goals late to get it back within 1 goal. We can see if we're going to be treated to something similar here today. Team Ontario in the red shirts, red shorts with the white numerals. They'll be moving right to left on your internet dial here in the first half. Team USA, white shirts, white shorts, blue numerals, chrome helmets. Moving from left to right. It's Luke Nickel on the face-off dot, going up against Spencer Reagan. Settle in. This one should be fun. Day 3 of the USA Lacrosse Fall Classic. Glenn Clark, Brian Logue with you from Tierney Field as we are set to get underway. Remember, 15-minute halves on day 3 in the Brogden Cup. Still international rules. Running clock, no possession clock. Prolonged battle at the dot, and it'll be Ontario ball first. Ground ball sucked up by Lucas Frazier, and they wanted to go quick, trying to make an early statement today.
Yeah, no hesitation here. You can feel the competitiveness. These teams, played so tight yesterday. They're ready to go right away.
Day 1 today at the U16 level saw Team USA come up with an 8-4 win over Ontario. We'll switch to the girls' side coming up next, U16, U18, between these same programs. First possession of the day for Team Ontario. Luke Robinson operating, dodging left, fires it in front, and it's plucked down. That is a, really calm save is what stands out at me from Luke Origi, but very nearly turned over. Fortunate that Team USA was able to hold on. Benjamin Wood Able to bring it down, complete the clear.
Yeah, Luke's a North Carolina commit there in goal for the USA Select team, so one of the top-level players here in this game.
He didn't seem to panic whatsoever. He barely flinched. Thinking about it, Wood. Now he's going to pull the trigger himself, and very early on, we get a long pull goal.
Nothing like that juice there from the long pole. Love to see that.
The most electric play in all of lacrosse, and Benjamin Wood
Team USA
just kept running around. Nobody wanted to pick him up, and you certainly understand this thought process. Hey, we'd rather defend the guys that are more dangerous weapons, but if you're Benjamin Wood at some point, if nobody's going to pick you up and you haven't been able to switch out yet, then, well, heck, I guess I'll just shoot it and see what happens.
Yeah, Kevin Warren's going to like him at Georgetown when he comes there next year, so another big-name recruit there, or prospect there from this USA Select U18 team.
Wood from the Deerfield Academy in Massachusetts plays for 3D New England. A much cleaner face-off this time. Coming away with it for Team USA, McLean Cantrell from Mater Dei out in California. And Team USA with an opportunity, unlike yesterday, to get going early in this one. Try to jump out to an advantage.
Yeah, you mentioned the 15-minute running halves. Yesterday they played 4 12-minute quarters, so a much shorter game today. So got to get off to an early start. Strong early start's even more critical today.
And if there's anything we know about high school boys, it's that they are always ready to go early in the morning on a Sunday. They are always rip-roaring when they wake up at 6 o'clock or whatever it was. It's off the pipe, bounces back out, tracked down, Ponchak, not able to get it back. 3 minutes gone by in the first half. Ontario trying to get it square, trailing 1-0. Brian, I feel like this is a good opportunity for us to just talk about the event a little bit more. We've had a great weekend here at the college teams, the national teams, now the youth level. What a celebration of our sports.
Yeah, it's great. You get the international competition. We have the U.S. and Canadian national teams, so the men senior team and the women's U20 team. We've got the Haudenosaunee Nation here. College representation, Northwestern Georgetown, so it's all levels of the sport, and what a great time for the celebration with the Olympics potentially on the horizon. Tomorrow morning from India will be the final vote. It's expected the IOC is going to ratify it for the lacrosse to be included in the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. So just a great celebration time.
Jacob Keller finds the wide open man. He was doubled, and that meant that Sheldon Broughton was open. And Broughton gets the first goal of the day for Team Ontario. We're tied up at 1-1.
Yeah, just left open on the doorstep there. Flashback to Dyson Williams for the Canadian senior team with the game winner in overtime on Friday night when the Canadian team beat the U.S. team in a great game.
It just seems unwise to leave the man on the doorstep wide open. I don't know everything, but I would say that's not what you want to do in that situation. And if you're going to double, you better get the ball.
Flying off ball is a very critical part of being a great lacrosse player, and it's something that's hard to evaluate without gameplay, and that's a great opportunity there for the Ontario team.
1-1, as we expected. Good battle early. Push is going to go the other way. White ball. Team USA will have it. And one of the things that I was thinking about coming in today, that these are youth players that now, for the first time in 100 years, have the belief that they could participate in an Olympics.
Yeah, it's an amazing opportunity, and I've worked at USA Lacrosse for over 20 years, and without fail from all our different national teams, no matter who you talk to, the first time they put on that jersey and hear the national anthem, it's just an unbelievable feeling, and I can't even imagine that at the Olympic stage.
Obviously, the World Championship's quite an event. We just had the World Championships this past summer, as that's going to be called a shot, but the backup's going to be given to Ontario. Carter Drynan tracking it down, getting it back. Of course, just this past summer, the World Championships in San Diego, and all of these players trying to get on the radar for the senior teams.
Yeah, that's part of this whole national team development program on the USA side, is to kind of be a pipeline to the U19, U20, and senior teams, and that's very much held true with our first kind of round with the women's side of things. With our current 42 players on our U20 women's training team, 34 of them came through this USA Select program over the last 4 years, so it really has been a nice pipeline.
That's pretty remarkable.
Yep. And so we'll have tryouts next summer for the U20 men's team for their next championship.
Now Dodging back left. Team USA has been quick to bring extra attention. This time they're able to get the turnover out of it. They have doubled early, trying to make life miserable for Team Ontario. Ontario was able to convert the previous possession. This time they give it away. So the Americans get it back in a 1-1 game. 8.5 remaining in the first half, and then just losing the ball. The turf monster getting the better of Jack Gunning. Also, has been some rough weather this weekend. Don't know if turf's slippery still at all. Sun's come out today. It's gorgeous today.
Yeah, all the rain yesterday and the dew overnight. The field's still a little slippery. We're not yet at 9 o'clock, I don't believe yet here, so it's still a little slippery on the turf.
Gunning, from the local product from Loyola Blakefield. He's a Don. Ontario trying to take their first lead of the day. The long pole, Lombardo. Now he'll have the opportunity to get off. They'll get their offensive middies on, and they'll go to work. Jacob Keller moves it to the middle, running shot. Oh, another great save. Boy, Arrighi really on his game early.
Yeah, he looks very sharp in goal there. Nice outlet pass. Oh, jinxed him there.
Of course you do. It's that we've been doing, for what it's worth, I think Monica and I over the last couple of days had about 12 different broadcaster jinxes. Just as you're praising something, can't even finish the sentence. So Ontario gets it back. Broughton, the goal scorer, swings it over to the far side as Ontario tries again to take their first advantage of the day. It's been tight early on, a little sloppy. You can sort of feel some of the nerves getting free in front and just sending it back behind to X. Hayden Hiltz wearing number 32. Move back to the middle. Rathwell feeds it underneath, turnaround. Ooh, and that was just impacted enough. I thought Merritt was going to have an easy look there, but he engaged or re-engaged and was slowed down. Stick loose, and Ontario not able to take advantage. Backup belongs to Team USA. They get it back. Just about as expected so far in this one. Trouble at the sideline. What a spin move from Olivin. Atticus Olivin.
Yeah, with no shot clock in the international game, every possession is always super important at the senior team level. And then when you get a game like this where you know it's a competitive game and 15-minute halves, that each possession just really takes on added importance, and you don't want to waste those opportunities.
Have yet to see Justin Brown get involved in this one. Brown, 5 goals yesterday. O'Farrell keeps it moving out wide. Oh, good effort to get the ball loose, but Lucas Frazier not able to pick it back up. Meyer drifts back. Jake Meyer, Wesleyan School, tries to move it to the middle. That's a dangerous pass. Team USA fortunate to hold on as Corbin Martin comes up with it. Again, no possession clock, so you don't have to force anything. If it's not there, you can just regroup. Try to continue to wear down the defense. Back at X. Now Farrell gets topside, shot wide, race to the end line. It's going to belong to Ontario. How about that dive out? Christopher Rathwell laying it on the turf.
Absolutely great effort there.
Under 5 minutes to go in this first half. It's complicated, right? Because it's easy for me to say, hey, just settle it down, don't force anything. But as we pointed out already, these are also players that are trying to prove themselves and move forward. And holding on to the ball, not exactly the type of thing that tends to get you a lot of attention as Team USA earns it back in the midfield. Great ride.
Yeah, every coach wants their players to play free too, though. So they want them to, you don't want to hold on to it too much. And that's one of the things I know that John Danowski with the men's senior team, he preaches the value of possessions, but some of the message on that final championship game is just go play, and don't think, just go play. And you want people to be free when they're playing, and so you want to take the opportunities when they're there.
Had the opportunity to chat with Coach Danowski for a while yesterday. Meyer has it checked out. How about a CT and a GB for LF Lucas Frazier? Ontario again with the opportunity to go in front. Got to hold on to the ball, though. It's loose once more. Ground ball scooped up behind by Olivan. And speaking of Coach Danowski, I know this weekend we've also been bringing it to everybody's attention. He'll be part of this year's National Lacrosse Hall of Fame class. Set to be inducted in January.
Yep, moving that ceremony from the fall tradition into January, which is a great class, and he's obviously one of the big parts of that.
I know another local name, Kyle Harrison, a true transcendent star in our sport. From his time at Johns Hopkins on to the pros. Also what he's done for diversity within the sport of lacrosse, overwhelming. Going to be a great weekend, great celebration, as you pointed out, an awesome class.
Yeah, Kyle, two-time U.S. team player. He also served on the USA Lacrosse Board of Directors, volunteers this time, and has obviously made his living close to the sport. But yeah, one of the super nice guy too, and great person and big part of the sport.
Just retired a couple years ago. Zylstra trying to get free. Just a little shake and bake action, and then just sort of lets it rip from well out. Zylstra's trying to make a highlight.
A little just a bit high there.
Yeah, that was hopeful. O'Farrell there for the backup. That was one of the neat parts about yesterday, because of the rain, seeing how many people were able to get in and check out the museum. Say, wow, this is a really neat place. Keeping that run going. What a save. O'Farrell denied from on the doorstep. But Bonnie, an incredible save.
Yeah, that was in so tight. Just a great save and a big spot there. But yeah, it's one of the cool things about this campus is that, it's obviously you get the field here in the game, stuff like that. But there's a lot to do with some memorials around the facility here. You've got the Hall of Fame inside. So it's just a great place to really embrace the sport.
O'Farrell gets it out and an opportunity. Oh, another remarkable save by Babani as he denies Zylstra.
Two huge saves right there, and under 2 minutes to go here at a tie game, and 1-1. It's every bit as tight as we thought.
We expected it to be close, but Bonnie stepping up and delivering in these moments for Team Ontario as they try to avenge the loss yesterday. And it's not going to be easy because Team USA is given no quarter on the other end. How about that defensive effort? Cantrell, Florence, both in on that. Americans get it right back. And now you start to get into the territory. As much as we say you don't really want to just hold the ball in an event like this, it would feel like right now is the exact time when you say, okay, but on this possession, maybe we hold it a little bit. And of course, just as I say that, what do I know? Steve Brooks is laughing, saying, yeah, that's not how we're doing things. We're going to work.
Yeah, this is Steve's fourth year involved in this program, coaching this team. His first year he helped out with John Galloway and Joel White, two of his former Syracuse teammates, and then he's been a head coach here the last 3 years of this program. He's been great for it.
You see Justin Brown trying to make something happen. He was looking for Martin, not able to connect, so Ontario gets it back. Just over 40 seconds to play. Able to finish the clear. Robinson pushing forward, shoots low, it's wide, back up, goes back the other way. And the clock does stop at 30 seconds. That's the only time the clock stops. Unless, of course, the officials ask for the clock to stop for some reason. 20 seconds, Team USA, opportunity to take the lead going into the half. It'll be Snyder, 10 seconds. Snyder makes his move, gets his hands free, another save from Babani. Pick back up, and ooh, a punishing hit. How about that to end the half? Luke Robinson saying no thank you. And after 15 minutes, we are even one apiece in Brogden Cup action. We'll come back in with first half highlights and then the start of the second half. You're watching the 2023 USA Lacrosse Fall Classic.
We're thrilled to have MedStar as our partner.
You know, MedStar is the biggest provider of sports medicine services in the Mid-Atlantic. We're fortunate we cover the Ravens, the Orioles, the Wizards, the Capitals, 15 colleges and universities. One of the biggest flags I think this organization can fly is being very proactive about health and safety as compared to just about any sporting organization I've worked with over my 30-year career.
Halftime here at Tierney Field, Team USA and Team Ontario tied up 1 apiece. Glenn Clark alongside Brian Logue. And Brian, this one was about as competitive as we expected it to be. Absolutely no separation in the first half.
Yeah, they came out from the opening whistle going hard, and USA jumped up to the early lead. Ontario answered, and then huge goaltending by AJ Baboni there for Canada, or for Ontario down the stretch there in the half.
3 remarkable saves. Let's take a look at some first half highlights before we get to the start of the second half. And we see not a lot of goals scored early on. The first one from Benjamin Wood got Team USA on the board. And the other way, doubled. Good vision from Keller. Finds Broughton cutting. Gets it in front, and he puts it home. Those were all of the goals in the first half because, as was pointed out, spectacular goalie play from A.J. Baboni. 3 massive saves late in the first half. A couple that were point-blank opportunities for Team USA. He keeps Team Ontario right in it, tied up 1 apiece. Teams will switch sides as we get ready for the start of the second half. Brian, you're going to have a busy day the rest of the day hanging out with us here on the USA Lacrosse YouTube page. What do you look forward to seeing as the day goes on?
Yeah, we got 6 more games after this one today to wrap up, I guess, about 32 games for the weekend here in the USA Lacrosse Fall Classic. And just, got some little fall weather here. The sun's out. So just, really enjoying some of the competition and the spirit of this event. It's one of the great things about the U.S.-Canada rivalry in lacrosse, and here we got U.S. and the Ontario team. It's just that it's very spirited, but it's also a lot of respect in it, so that's what I kind of like to see.
Great to see family and friends traveling down and checking out the USA Lacrosse headquarters as we get underway here in half number 2. USA going right to left now on your internet dial. Ontario left to right, 1-1 game. At some point today, the Brogden Cup will be clinched as USA will have possession to start this second half. And important to point out that admission is free today, Brian, so anybody can come over and check out this great action.
Yeah, I'd love to see people come out, and gorgeous day to sit outside and lots of fun things to do.
So Team USA trying to get their offense going. They got bogged down in part because of goalie play. Justin Brown, I mentioned, headed to Fairfield, was the star yesterday, yet to make an impact today. Good move around, racing all the way in, but shooting it wide. Owen O'Farrell from the Westminster School in Connecticut, not able to get that one on cage. And not surprised that Austin Stevenson's in goal to start the second half for Team Ontario, as that shot fired in high by Snyder. A reminder that as much as this weekend is about competition, it is also very much about evaluation. But boy, after the half that Baboni had, I know that had to be a little bit more difficult for Team Ontario to make that switch.
Yeah, I think most of these guys playing at the club level and stuff going through, that's just kind of a standard thing that the goalies split it, so they're well used to that.
Hayden Hiltz brings it up for Ontario. And Team USA had it right back, but not going to be able to hold on to it. They throw it away. Stays with Team Ontario. So yeah, goalie changes on both sides as expected. Dominic Veloso, the senior from Gulliver Prep in Florida, part of the Team 18 club program, takes over for Team USA. And he comes up with his first save. How about the goalies today?
Yeah, another D1 commit there. He's going to Penn next year.
Ty Gesso stoned, but Ontario gets it back. Hiltz picks it up, pushes it ahead, and that shot not on target. Pretty good opportunity for Cade Cordingley.
Yeah, 2 sloppy turnovers for USA there, so to get away with that fast break not coming home is big for the defense there.
How many Lacrosse Cordingleys are there in Canada?
I know Aurora lit it up last summer with,
Boy, did she.
with the World Championships and stuff like that. So.
And I know the U20 team had another Cordingley.
Yep.
As Team USA will get it back. Ground ball scooped up by Trevor Patenti. He takes it all the way up himself, fires it high. Backup is there in the form of Noah Snyder. Go the other way. Was it a substitution issue? I couldn't hear what the call was.
Offsides on.
Okay, there you go. Offsides the call. So Ontario gets it back, but they're inclined to give it away just as quickly. However, that'll be scooped up. Was it covered up?
I think they caught an illegal screen on that.
Okay. Yeah, Cordingley was going to have an easy path to goal had it not been.
Very sloppy in the opening minutes here, and you can. I think everybody feels it a little
The
bit.
tension is exactly what I was thinking about. The tension is here. Wood, the only goal scorer for Team USA. That's the wild part today. The only goal that Team USA has scored has come from a long pole. O'Farrell, as they continue to try to get their mids out. Not going to gain any advantage in the substitution. Good execution in the box. Ponchak had Simmons all over him. That's wide. Stays with Team USA. It gets late early in these games, and you start to feel that, like, these possessions really matter. I'm not going to suggest that we could be getting into, like, golden goal territory, but the way this game has gone, you never know.
It almost feels like the next one's a huge one, but part of me thinks like that once something happens there, they're going to relax.
Floodgates open a little bit, yeah. Ponchak, dodging right. Push back. We'll send it back to X. Team USA resets. Again, no possession clock. You can take all the time in the world to get what you need. O'Farrell brought to the turf. He loses it. Timeout, smart timeout taken by Team USA as O'Farrell was in serious danger of losing the ball. Watch it one more time as O'Farrell shoved down to the turf and then just being wailed on by Brendan Wright. Smart timeout.
Really tough play by him there to get knocked to the turf and not lose the ball in that situation. I thought the ball was definitely on the ground, but I don't think it ever left his stick. And then the great timeout by Stephen Brooks. The
issue being you only have one timeout per half, though. So now, if this stays a tight game late, you won't have the timeout to bail you out in that spot or to set up whatever it is that you want to run in that possession. So that's the always difficult part about it in these shorter games is, yeah, you want to make sure you hold on to the possession. And clearly Steve Brooks is feeling what you and I were talking about, which is that this is incredibly sort of a critical possession already at this point, but yet you also have to measure that against what you might need before the game is over.
Yeah, and those timeouts could be huge down the stretch. We saw that Friday night, and the U.S. used 2 timeouts in the final 2 minutes of their game when they were trying to run out the clock against Canada's doubles. Didn't work out. They eventually turned it over, so they would have loved to have a third timeout.
Right, to help them out.
So, yes, USA will not have that down the stretch for that possession timeout. But, again, 1-1 game, the next one could be big.
As you referenced, Brian, that was probably between these two teams' game yesterday and that game on Friday night. That's hot competition for what the game of the weekend has been. But Team Canada getting their first national team, senior team level victory over Team USA since 2014 in overtime on Friday night. And while it's a very different group of players and certainly not the stage of the World Championships, you could sense that felt good for the Canadian players to at least exact whatever amount of revenge they could against Team USA on Friday.
Yeah, 4 of those Canadian players were on the team in San Diego this summer, including Dyson Williams, who had the game-tying and game-winning goals. So, you know, they certainly don't want to lose that game when they're playing the USA.
Still USA ball out of the timeout. O'Farrell back with it. Swings it to the opposite side. Again, Team USA all the time in the world to execute their possession with no clock. At some point, it's Justin Brown, but they've done a much better job on Justin Brown today. The bomb from outside, and that was hopeful from Miles Mann, and a more routine save made by Stevenson. I don't think that in the timeout that was the shot that you were looking for.
They had his fans free, though, and had a decent look at it, but it was, you know, the goalie saw it all the way.
9 minutes to play in this second half. A lot more patience. Teams understanding the significance of each possession as they try to come away with a big win in Brogden Cup play. Right. Shove back. Justin Brown showing off his defense.
He hasn't had the goals today, but he's been on the field a lot today. He's kind of the OG of this program. It's his 4th year with the National Team Development Program. Big part of it.
Hiltz, that'll be taken away. Scooped up by Cantrell. And Cantrell throws it away. That's a critical error. Just as you've done the work to get the ball back, unforced error gives it right back to Team Ontario.
Yeah, Cade Cordingley was just back there and kind of like altered the angles for the pass there and just kind of forced that bad pass there.
Luke Robinson swings it back. Now Chesso looking to engage. Olivan on him. Chesso from X. Continues on back towards the corner. Fires it up top. We go under 8 minutes to play. 1-1 game. No one has scored in the second half, and that's not going to change. Boy, it was a great move by Hiltz to get in front. And we keep talking about how you can sort of feel the nerves. And also, given the level of the goalie play that we've seen today, you almost have to be perfect in your shot selection and your spots. Robinson, it's deflected, and ooh, a great check. Wood gets it out. Trouble. Cantrell able to get away from it. Team USA will try to clear.
Yeah, 2 great plays by Wood there in a dangerous situation. He deflected the pass on the skip pass, and then with the over-the-head check, kind of prevented them from really getting a good look in what looked like could be a dangerous spot.
Team USA will settle, get their guys out there. Schweiger.
I talked about 1 goal opening the floodgates. I'm not so sure anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's going to be another goal at this point. We might be on our way to overtime. I don't have all the Brogden Cup records to know if we've ever had a 1-1 game before after 30 minutes. Shot wide. And Corbin Martin doesn't go out. Instead, Ontario gets it right back. Oh, good transition. Winter pushing ahead. Witter, sorry, and then that fired in, but wide. That was a good look from Rathwell. He was wide open, not quite able to sting the corner.
Yeah, pretty good effort by the USA defense to get back in the hole and force the outside shot in that transition.
Rathwell trying to get free, being given nothing. Good tight defense from Trevor Patenti, the Brewster Academy in New Hampshire. Rathwell gets it back. Under 6 minutes to play. Still 1-1. Team USA and Team Ontario. Broughton gets his hands free, running shot. Just ran out of angle there. Backup is with him. Ty Jesso picks it up for Ontario. Goes back to work. That's a sloppy pass. Boy, fortunate that Broughton knew what he was trying to do. Comes back up top to Rathwell. Rathwell digging in. Rathwell had his hands free, doesn't pull the trigger. USA's got to regroup defensively. Coming back this way, Keller drops it off to Witter. We'll send it back behind to X. Ontario resets. Gesso looking to get topside. He was pushed back well. Good job by Olivan defending. Under 5 minutes, step down and another save. Veloso's made a couple of nice ones in the second half for Team USA. They got to make sure they hold on to possession. Deering comes back to get it.
Yeah, some great defense and outstanding goaltending by both teams today. So it's not just a lack of execution in the offense. It's really been some good defense.
Glad you point that out, Brian. I don't want to seem like we've been too critical because you're right. Goalies on both sides have made excellent saves. That was a really good one from Veloso. So here we go, Team USA, 4 minutes. Justin Brown, quiet today, 5 goals yesterday. Brown gets inside. Brown, no, denied by Stevenson.
Yeah, nice little trail check there. I thought Brown had the angle going in there to get a great look.
Just impacted enough that he didn't have a ton on it. Enrico Lombardo brings it over. Ontario back into the attack. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to play. Well, remember when I said I don't want to say it was golden goal territory? I think it might have been golden goal territory.
Yeah, my floodgates are closed.
Yeah. Veloso was trying to snag that pass. Can feel it every moment right now. Team Ontario still does have a timeout left, and as the double came, they did want to get rid of it. Oh, what a find! And Cordingley puts Ontario in front 2-1 with 3 minutes to play.
Great little behind the back pass that set that up. And USA went with the double trying to create the turnover and left the back door open there.
I was thinking when that double came, they might end up having to use that timeout. Instead, just spectacular lacrosse. Cordingley's first of the day. Ontario takes their first lead, 2-1. And critical moments now ahead for Team USA. Said there were 5 straight games between these two programs, determined by exactly 1 goal. Well, here we are, 2.5 minutes remaining. It's a 1-goal game, and it's thrown away. Cordingley comes back to intercept it. Now it's knocked down in the scramble. The ground ball belongs to Keller, and Team USA is going to have to think about extending. Ontario now has a chance to hold on, try to win this game. And another good job of knocking that away. This time it's Wood, who's been active all day. But Team USA not able to come up with the ball. We go under 2 minutes to play, and now they do get it back. Well, briefly.
2 almost turnovers by Ontario there, but they're able to corral it down to minute 45 here.
They do still have their timeout. Team USA is going to be forced to double. We don't see Veloso come out of the cage yet. I think at some point they're going to have to bring him out, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And now we see it. Veloso gets back in front. The Team USA gets it. Wood comes up with it. Americans with an opportunity again. Pushed ahead. Olivan gets them into their offense. Instead, they throw it away. Oh, what a critical turnover.
Yeah, Atticus Olivan had the check to create that turnover, and then the pass just went awry there.
And that's where you wonder if Steve Brooks would have liked to have had his timeout. Ontario had theirs, and they choose to take it with 1:05 remaining, leading 2-1.
Yeah, USA in this final 2 minutes trying to get the ball back. The ball's been on the ground 3 different times. The first 2 they couldn't get a hold of it. That one after Olivan's check kind of set things up. They trying to clear it into the zone, just couldn't connect on that pass there. And the timeout here for Ontario might actually help USA get its defense set up to try to pressure the ball. But a minute 05 and running the ball out here is a big part of trying to win a game.
That's what we're looking at. Ontario trying to play keep away. Team USA will have to send everything at them to try to get the ball. And now the other question will be, does Team USA, we saw this on Friday night, where you take the goalie out completely, put the goalie down on the other side, send another defender down here to try to play. I assume that'll be Steve Brooks' thought process?
Could be. I mean, this is not an end-game situation. We've got a lot of time to work on. You know, these kids participated in National Combine to get selected this team. They came and had some practices on Friday.
That's fair.
And then, you know, played some games, you know, yesterday, and then, you know, they'll have some today. But it's, you know, not a lot of practice time for these guys to have gotten ready for an end-game situation like this. So we'll see what they come up with.
Ontario 65 seconds away. If they can just hold on to the ball, and indeed Veloso will come back out. So he'll be tasked with doing some defending. It was always very difficult for goalies in this situation, right? You want to be active in defending, but you also have to be paying attention to whether or not someone has gotten free and has a look at cage. It's always hard to be a goalie, but particularly in these moments, extraordinarily difficult. Right now, Veloso is still standing in the cage. USA not doubling just yet. Now Veloso does come out.
I think they're looking to see if Wood can create some havoc here on his own.
It'll be lobbed back towards the middle, and Keller, under 50 seconds. Keller able to kill 5 or 6 on his own, just coming back to the near side. Olivan comes after him. Keller right around that sideline. He gets a step. Veloso able to retreat back and goal, but down to 30 seconds. Keller ran into a double. Holds on to it. And the officials are going to talk about it. The stall warning had been turned on.
They gave him to keep it in the box, but in the international game, that line there is not.
That's correct.
Box, so
it's sideline to sideline.
It does help the U.S. set up a double, though.
It's a great point. That's fortunate. Oh, what a split. Keller able to swim right through. 20 seconds left. Keller still with it on his stick. Keller in trouble. Now a triple comes around the end line.
Timeout, Team Ontario.
I guess they had 2.
Apparently there were 2 timeouts available, and the board was incorrect. My apologies. And boy, that makes the decision to not call timeout on the other side a little bit more interesting. 11.7 seconds left. It will take a miracle now. What a job by Jacob Keller, holding on to the ball for Team Ontario to try to finish this off.
Yeah, he split the double team there at the start of that possession, and they just, you know, took a barrage of checks. Had 3 guys coming after him at one point, and you know, held on to the ball.
Absolutely spectacular effort. We expected a close game today. I don't think we expected there'd only be 3 combined goals, but this one has delivered nonetheless. The defensive intensity of these teams, the goalie play, Brian. This is why this has been such a great rivalry.
Yeah, great players from both teams, and you know, it just feeds into what happens at the next levels, from the, you know, U20 level up to the senior team. It's just such a fantastic rivalry. The margin for error is so razor thin, and I've stood on the sidelines of USA Canada games in different countries, and you always feel that tension, and it's really a fun atmosphere.
Coming up next, Brian will be with you. U16 girls.
USA Haudenosaunee men actually coming up next.
Sorry, my apologies. I was looking at the wrong schedule.
Got all the boys games here in the morning and the girls games
coming up later in the day.
Yep.
That makes more sense. I don't know who the dummy was that said the other thing, but you should probably fire him after this game. 11 seconds left. In trouble, somehow holding on. Robinson, he works through it. Robinson will get in front. Shot won't be on target, but it won't matter. Did exactly what he needed to do. Team Ontario able to knock off Team USA 2-1 here in Brogden Cup action.
Outstanding game. Just tremendous defense by the Ontario all the way through.
Really, really wonderful defensive effort from both teams. Goalie play was outstanding, and Team USA falls 2-1 in another 1-goal game between these teams. Brian, it's been a pleasure. Really enjoyed working with you all weekend. Always an honor to be here at USA Lacrosse for this event. Love being a part of it. Thanks for having me once again. Looking forward to another great day.
Really appreciate it, Glenn. Thanks for being here, and I'll be happy to bring you guys home the rest of the day.
That'll be what you'll get. Brian Logan. Doug with you for the rest of the day. Final score again here today, Ontario 2, USA 1. We'll be right back with continued Brogden Cup action at the USA Lacrosse Fall Classic.
Welcome to the USA Lacrosse Fall Classic here at USA Lacrosse headquarters in Sparks, Maryland. Game 3 of 8 today in the Brogden Cup. This time we've got the USA U16 select team against the Haudenosaunee U16. It's the second game of the day for the USA squad. They opened up this morning with an 8-4 win over Ontario. It's the Haudenosaunee first game of the day. These two teams met yesterday with USA winning 13-1. USA will get possession to start. The face-off victory there for Keegan Nyman. Denver commit will be heading out to join up with Matt Brown there, but USA throws it away, and the Haudenosaunee are going to have the ball here. This Brogden Cup part of the USA Lacrosse Fall Classic. 3 teams competing here, or groups from 3 different ones. USA Select, the Team Ontario, and the Haudenosaunee Nation are the groups competing here at this event here at the U16 and U18 levels for both boys and girls. We've got boys action this morning, followed up this afternoon, or later on this morning with some of the girls teams going on here. USA clears to get set up with its first position. Jack Ridgway cleared the ball there. He's got a Culver Military in place for the Cherries program there in the Midwest. And setting up top right now for the USA is John DeVere.